Sukuna is a menace because I believe Megumi Fushiguro might be dead. After Sukuna captured his body, he's been in the state where Megumi Fushiguro has been his representation. It seems like his time is over. With fighting Gojo, Yorozu, and a bit of Kashimo, we now find out that Sukuna is done using that body. He's used Maharaga to his maximum, used all the totality, and without having reverse curse technique to use, since it's slowed down completely, it seems like there has to be a change of gear. And why exactly would that be the case for Megumi? Well, let's get into that and dissect how he can come back and what it was that got him there in the first place. So if you haven't already, make sure you leave a like on the video, it would be much appreciated. Subscribe if you're new, and let's actually see what happened to Megumi. So first things first, we have to remember Sukuna has went against Gojo, using all his domain expansions to the point where his brain is also fried, and now he's completely held back from using his reverse curse technique to heal him straight away. Satoru Gojo did a lot of damage to him, especially after the hollow purple attack, and this left him with one arm. After Gojo was put in a pack by Sukuna, the king of curses, we then go into somebody coming in very hot, and that guy was Kashimo. Kashimo, who is known as the god of lightning in this case, enters the ring, and in the process of him coming, we see not only was he coming to enter the ring, also a person called Urame. Urame seems to be the disciple of Sukuna, the only one that was chosen to be the disciple, and also known as the Frozen Star. And while being 203 meters off the ground, you can see there's a large ice tower above Kashimo, and that was from her. But fortunately for Kashimo, the person who came to intervene to stop the interference of Sukuna versus Kashimo was none other than Hakuri Kinji. As you can see, look at the drip he has on the shoes, man. Like, he came in hot. So this was an attack from above, trapping her in the domain expansion almost instantly. And in the process, you can see that the iceberg just kept falling down, and this was the beginning of what made Sukuna become one step closer to regain his Heian era status. So we see through the iceberg, melting through it was a device which was something very familiar. If you did not notice, it was once used by Sukuna in the Heian period, as you can see from this color page right here, and this was literally the beginning of what was the end for Megumi. This weapon, this device, was called the Kamitoke, and in the process, the reason that it was used, and as luck would have it, it was able to produce electricity, which completely zaps Kashimo. But unfortunately for Sukuna, you see that Kashimo is immune to this. So Sukuna in this instance was basically already one step closer to his old form, and this was the one step closer to Megumi disappearing. We also find out about Sukuna a little bit in terms of what he is and how he is the strongest. Kashimo asks him, did you earn the title of the strongest, or were you simply born as such? In the process of asking this, Sukuna is like, who knows, I was born a cursed, unwanted little wretch. That's as much as I can say, which is actually so funny. Because if you look at Megumi, Megumi is the opposite of him in every single way. He is not cursed but blessed, and he's not unwanted because he's really wanted. The reason that he's really wanted is because the Zenin clan wanted to buy him so fast, so quick, especially as Toji had a lot of potential to have a son with the 10 shadows. You can really see the oxymoron between Megumi and Sukuna in one body, which shows how sick and twisted Sukuna really is. So Gojo was not the only person that had to go against loneliness. Sukuna wasn't the only person, but Kashimo was, and that's why he wanted to fight Sukuna so bad, so he can learn otherwise. In the process, he said that's something that he can never understand, as he was always surrounded by those as feeble as the dirt beneath his feet, and he wants to pretty much look for strength, even if it means crossing a road alone. It seems like Sukuna has to help everybody in this case, because if you don't realize, Sukuna helped Gojo, finding love, but it seems like no one's able to help him. Especially being unwanted, it seems like Sukuna never ever had love in the first place, and he pretty much wants to give Kashimo that love that he gave Gojo, and he even found them both as greedy as each other. So as Sukuna is fighting against Kashimo, and Kashimo is landing attacks here and there, Kashimo uses the curse technique that all of us have been wondering what it is. Curse technique release, Mythic Beast Amber, and in the process, you see that Sukuna gets pretty much speed blitz. I don't understand how he could get hit so fast to the point the King of Curses can't even see, but you know he is pretty much nerfed. So as we know, if this is not Sukuna able to fight as strong as he wants to, then that means there has to be only one way. We got already a little hint by Urame coming. We had one of his cursed tools from the high-end era coming through. That means there's only one more thing that it needs to be done. So as Kashimo is still laying the hands on him, and you can see the mythic beast Amber allows his body to render any phenomena that can be created by electricity a weapon in his arsenal. So this definitely gives Sukuna a run for his money, because now the fact that he was hit in the manner that he was, he pretty much got the guaranteed hit like we've seen against Panda, and he can pretty much kill him in one strike to the head. But just as he was about to get demolished, instead of Sukuna using a reverse curse technique to heal the body of Megumi, there was another way, but this way was a one-time use only. So that would mean that potentially he would not be able to revert back to Megumi's body anymore, and it seems that Megumi's body will be rendered suspended and gone. So what was the move that he was able to do? And that was to resuming his transformation through means of incarnation. This would bring Sukuna back to full health, full regeneration, and now with his Aya, we literally get to see the true form of the high-end era Sukuna, the one that people feared all their lives. And in this process we see that Kashimo is having a blast, and he's actually quite excited because he wants to go against the strongest, and this now will be taught by Sukuna. So from the look of it, what I've been wondering is, where's Megumi now? Megumi seems to have been off-screened, and that is pretty tragic. The fact that we now don't see Megumi in any way, shape or form, and Sukuna is pretty much in his full form with 4 arms, that means his body is completely gone, and low-key he might have got the Yorozu treatment. That is pretty upsetting due to the fact that, you know, you want to see the full potential of Megumi Fushiguro and you want him to come back, but this is how I believe maybe he will be able to come back. This would be able to happen if Yuji's plan actually ends up coming through. He did say he has an idea on how he can get Megumi's body, and that means that it has to be carried out in some way, because it wasn't given to us what the idea would be, so that means it's something that we completely do not know. Unless Sukuna ends up switching bodies, or Megumi does something to do with the soul swapping, it seems there's nothing else that can be done. Megumi literally had it so bad from seeing his sister getting his body taken over, and now his body is literally a 4-armed Sukuna? Like, this seems that he could be done completely, because I don't understand how he could come back. Unless Sukuna can revert back to Megumi, it may be to use the 10 shadows for the one time. It seems like there's no possibility. Maybe that's why Sukuna delayed transforming, because he wanted to exhaust Megumi's body to his full ability, then change back to his own. And if we're being real, Megumi needs to be there for the final endgame, because he has cursed energy of Sukuna being soaked in, similar to Yuji Todori. And as I said before, the way Gojo was able to sustain his hollow purple because he had the same cursed energy hitting him, Yuji Todori and Megumi should be tag teaming to fight this Sukuna. So this is going to be very difficult and confusing on how he can get his body back, but I'll be there to look forward for it. If you haven't already, make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe if you're new. This is the end of the video. Look at this video here, is a banger, so you might as well go and watch. And as I say to the new people that come and visit my channel, Njana.